Welcome. My name is Larry Davis. I'm the owner and operator of the Jam Spot Music and the JSM.com. Today we are going to talk about basic strum patterns. Now this is a part 3 to a series of basic guitar lessons that I'm doing kind of as a benefit to our customers and anybody who's interested in watching. We're going to talk about strum patterns today. We went through chords, which hopefully you have been doing the G, D, C, and E minor that we talked about on the last episode. Now, what we're going to talk about today is the basics to strumming. Strumming can be challenging, especially when you're first starting, because you really don't have, well, maybe you do, but most people don't have good rhythm. It's hard to carry rhythm, especially when you're trying to concentrate so much on the neck itself. So your rhythm is patchy, to say the least. It's important that if you have really bad rhythm that you use a metronome. A metronome is actually a piece of equipment that makes a tick, or you can get a piano metronome that actually has a dial that moves back and forth, and you set the tempo to 120 beats, 96 beats, whatever you want to strum to, and every time it clicks you should be counting fourths and changing chords, etc. Now, with a good strum, it's hard to find the perfect strum, but a good strum, we'll just do 4/4, which is 4 beats per bar. So is what we're going to have is we're going to have 4 beats of G, and then we're going to switch and do 4 beats of D, and we're going to switch and do 4 beats of C, and 4 beats of E. Now, all I want right now is down strums, okay? We're not worried about up strums, half strums, or anything of the sort. No 8ths or 16ths, only 4s. So, let's start it out. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C now. 1. E minor. G. C. E minor. Now that's all down strums. A lot of times tablature will show you down strums and up strums, and you need to be aware of what you're supposed to be doing, if you're supposed to be doing the down strums or up strums. The reason why is because it actually will change the sound of your music. While I can do a G in down strums like that, I can also do a G. As you can tell, it's completely different of a sound. So don't ignore the fact that your tab might say down, down, up, down, because that's exactly how the song should be, whatever they're trying to tablature it. So do the 4/4s, which is 4 strums, 4 actual changes per bar. So work the 4/4 down strums, and then we're going to actually step into 8th notes. An 8th note is when you're actually doubling how many strums you do in a bar. So what we're going to do is an eighth note strum. Right now we're going to go from 4ths to 8ths. So I'm going to show you 4ths first. So this is 4ths. D, C, E minor. Okay, now here's 8th notes. Okay, now this is where we're going to bring in an up strum. So we're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. C, E minor, back to G, D, C, E minor, so that's 8th notes. Work the strums, get the rhythm down. Mainly for now, just, I mean, if you're really finding a hard time on keeping rhythm at all, do down strums strictly only. I mean, if you do a song that's really well known, like let's say you're doing "Wish You Were Here," or you're doing some other well-known acoustic songs, do it with down strums only. It'll change the sound of the song, but you're still going to hear the chording. You'll still be able to make the sound out. Work the down strums until you feel comfortable with strumming. Once again, be sure that you are using that nylon pick that I talked about if you're beginning. And I also use one still today. The nylon pick is really forgiving. If you're using a really super heavy pick like that, that is not the best for beginners. It absolutely chokes the chords. You'll have the tendency to do this when you're a beginner with a heavy pick. And this thin pick will drag over your strings nice and smoothly. Also, suck the pick up. Don't let it stick out like a mile. That's not right. Suck it up. You just want a little bit hanging out. Also, keep your pick 90-degree angle with your thumb. Like I talked about before. It should be 90-degree angle. And if your hand mutes your strings, like your actual strum hand is muting your strings, well then you need to pick your wrist up. You need to get your wrist off of your guitar and not down on it. So that's where I was talking about with technique and how to hold the guitar posture. You want your elbow to be pitched in the guitar body. So you should need to pick your wrist up. Strum more or less in the middle between the bridge and the neck. I like to go right in the middle of my sound hole. Sometimes your hand, your fingers will want to kind of drag with it. If that's technique and you like the sound, then roll with it, because the truth of the matter is a guitar player gets its technique in its particular sound, his sound, her sound, whatever. You'll get that the moment you start playing guitar. Everybody has their own unique technique, 100%. So stick with it and keep in tune. Check us out on the next episode. We're going to talk about capos.